Hello everyone, my name is Hector Mendoza. Um, uh, I've already put out 4 videos on how to navigate around the database to build an estimate in Symbility. So uh, what? Uh, so basically, what this is this tools right here. You have uh, your search. You can search the database with binoculars. You would just type some keywords. You can apply a manual filter, and that's kind of helps out a little bit. But like I said, I'm not going to go into what these things do because I already got a video out there. This is to browse categories. This is your favorite. Now the one that I want to talk about is this, and we already got the batch. Is this assembly? Okay, this is a pretty cool tool. If anybody has worked with Settle Assist by Accurance, then this is kind of similar to that. So, let me go into my roof plan. Let me show you how this works. I wish this thing would let us create our own, but so far they haven't got to that level yet. Okay, so see, these are your assemblies. Okay, so I have this asphalt roofing, cabinetry, contents pack out, decks, fencing, flooring. Every time I come back to this thing, they keep on adding more and more and more, which is cool because that makes Symbility just that much available to us. So let's say that we had a asphalt roof that we're going to replace. All you have to do is click here and drag it right here into the canvas, right? You have to have a roof plan in the canvas. So I'm going to release it, okay? And now it's going to give me a series of questions, okay? So, for instance, it says select the coverage. This is going to be a structure because, you could do other structures and structures, okay? Are we doing a full replacement or are we doing a repair? So let's say we're doing a full repair. It's going to ask you for the age of the roof. Let's say it's 7 years. Now, what kind of roof is it? Is it a 25, 30, architectural, good? So this is like a 30. This is a 40. This is a 50-year. I think those two are like 50-year roofs. So for right now, we're just going to pick laminate. Okay, now are we going to give it a height allowance? So let's say if it's a 2-story, you could, or you might want to do that separate if only a few of the facets have high allowance. So let's say if it did, we could go ahead and select 2-story. Same thing with this steep charge. Sometimes you can have a 712 on one section, you can have a 1012. So if you weren't going to do the whole thing above a 712, then this is not the place to do it. You would want to individually do that. So for right now, we won't do that, and I'll show you what you would do after this. So is there ice and water shield required? Let's say there is. You just tell it yes. Is it in the eaves, valleys, or is it in both of them? Let's say it's in the eaves and the valleys. Usually it's going to be usually in the eaves, but some people do use it on the valleys instead of valley metal. So then it's going to ask you the eave protection. Is it a single roll or a double roll? Normally they're going to be single rolls, okay? Additional layer decking, was there damage to the decking? if you click yes, then additional information populates. You know, so let's say that there was an additional layer, and underneath there, there was some cedar, or let's say if it's just asphalt shingles, you would just click there. But if it was cedar shingles, then you would select this. But right now we're just gonna say no. Okay. Is there valley metal? Well, we've already told it up there that there was ice and water shield, so we're gonna say no. Is there a skylight? If there's a skylight, you know, is it a medium or large? Let's say there was a medium and there was one of them. Sometimes there's two, so you could type two. Step flashing, uh, you know, a lot of people don't pay for step flashing. Some insurance companies do, but we'll leave that off. Uh, then we're going to go into the rich vent. Is there a rich vent? You know, if there is PVC, aluminum, you know, right now we're just going to say no. So you could select, let's say, box vents. How many box vents were there? And were they aluminum or were they plastic? I said we had two box vents. What they're talking about is a turtle vent. Okay, but they're calling it a box vent. So let's say there was 4 of those. Pipe jacks. How many pipe jacks? Is it plastic, galvanized? A lot of them are galvanized. Let's say there was 5 of those. Turbine vents. Were there any turbine vents? And let's say there was 2 medium. Oops, not 12. 2. What about power vents or exhaust dryer vents? Let's say there was 1. What about power vents? The cover, you know, is there an aluminum one, a plastic one? Let's say there's 1 aluminum. So was it a small one, a large one? Let's say it's a medium, and it's 1 of them. Or let's say there's 3 of those. Additional items like, you know, satellites, here, you know, reset a satellite antenna, evaporator cooler, tear out and replace satellite dish, tear out and replace TV antenna. Normally it's going to be remove and reset, you know. So let's say we had a dish, and then okay, was there fascia damage? Then let's say there was cedar or pine. Let's say pine. Then it's going to ask you, is it 1 by 6, 1 by 8? Let's say 1 by 6. Do we need to paint it? Or what do we need to do? Are we just going to paint it later, or are you going to tear out and replace? Let's say when you click here, it's going to ask you for the linear feet. So well, it should have asked us for the linear feet. Oh, it's going to, well, yeah, that's not, we'll check that when we do the estimate. Debris removal, let's say we need a 30-yard. Okay, that's it. Now you hit next. This thing's going to generate. Now, when we hit generate, we have we got 5 seconds to make changes. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't make changes afterwards, but you could actually do it right now. So look, so we hit generate. You see, well, you got more than 5 minutes because it's when this thing closes. Then you can look at all this and decide, you know what? Here we go on your fascia. Remember, I wanted to check how many. Let's say there was only 6 feet of fascia. Uh, so you see, I double click, right? Look, I double click here. I'm going to change the quantity to linear feet. Right now it's not letting me. Let me see, unit. There's a price. Yeah. Wait a second. We can change that after we put it in there. For right now, we're just going to leave it like this. Okay. So you would go down the line and let's say you can delete these things or change the how many, the quantity. Like let's say you wanted 2 of them. So we're just going to go ahead and apply this. Now, so the thing I was concerned about was that fascia, right? So we're going to go here. Now, you see, you could go in here and look for this thing through here. The easiest way I like doing this is, you see right here where it says structure? If you click there, it's going to give you a list. And you can go in here to your roof section, and it's a lot easier changing it here. So let's go to your gutters down. Where's your fascia? Ice and water show. I think it's throwing it somewhere else. Let me see. Bedrooms. Uh, okay, so with a single fill, ridge, hydro, fire, fill, ice, grip edge, skylight, flashing. Uh, Here we go, fascia. Okay, so you see right here on the linear feet, if I double click here, I don't know why it's not giving me the option to change that. I have to figure out why this thing is, why it's not letting me change that. It should allow me to change it right here. So that's one thing I'll check on. But you know, you can change your depreciation. You can tell it the minimums to not apply or to apply the minimums. You can change the price here. See, it gives you the option to change the price. And I'll check into that, see why it's not letting me change uh, the quantity. Uh, but anyway, that's how uh, you can use this tool. It's a real cool tool. Now you obviously you can add more to that. So because it's going to have limits on what it put in there. So to get back to your estimate, what you would do is all you would have to do from here is you would click on your roof plane, and then it'll take you back. Okay, so you don't see the estimate here, right? If you select the items, you'll see your estimate. Let me see if I can change it here, because it wasn't letting me change it. And let me enlarge this a little bit. Okay, so step height, underlayment, gutters, additional items. The reason I don't like to change stuff in here because it's hard to find the stuff. Verify, replace, quantity. Wow, because I'm going over too fast. Shingles. Here it is right here. Okay, so let's say replace. No, it's still not letting me change it there. What about on the tear out? Yeah, I gotta check on that, see why it doesn't let me change that the linear feet. It's kind of crazy. Okay, well, I'll check on that. But now look, it's selecting everything on the fascia. See, it's going around. And so, you know, you might be able to just grab this too and, you know, go in here and deselect the stuff and then go back and so, you know, it deselected it. So you can go back and then put it in there. So, you know, you would have to go into your search engine and go to fascia. Excuse me. So fascia, oops. And then let's say it is 6 wood fascia, cedar 6, and we're going to tear out and replace. And maybe let me get, here we go. So let's say that I only had to do that area there. Now, remember, I took the other one out, and that's all the fascia that I'm putting in there. And if I double click here, you see, it still, for some reason, doesn't let me change the quantity there. That's something I'm going to have to check. I've never ran into this problem before, but I'm going to check into that. Well, this is how you do it. So remember, what you would do is you would go to your right here. It's called batches. Excuse me, assemblies. The last thing we're going to talk to is about carts. But if you ever have a question about Symbility or Xactimate, here's my email address. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I'll see you on the next video.